from Julio Cruz and Gaylord Perry to Alvin Davis and Harold Reynolds to father and son back-to-back bombs, from Junior J, Joey, and Edgar with Randy, A-Rod, Dan, and the Sheriff, to Ichiro Moyer and Mikey C, to King Felix, Kyle Cruz, and Cano, to the present with Julio, Gilbert, Kirby, and Cal. I don't believe it. It just continues. My, oh my, it's another sports podcast. My, oh my, it's another sports podcast. We got super producer Indy out there in Nashville, Tennessee, rocking the ones and twos. That's Vaden Podcast Services. Vaden Podcast Services bringing this show to life. Got to give a huge shout out to all the homies in the live chat, dropping that knowledge, bringing the fire and energy. We appreciate so much. It's Ty Talks here, but y'all know Toby Maguire was bit by a spider, but RG was bit by a goat. What's up, bro?
BIGPOPPA. No info for the DEA. Federal agents mad because I'm flagrant. Tap my cell and the phone in the basement. Big fun week of sports. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Mariners are hotter than fish grease right now. My New Mexico Lobos, which are a D2 team cosplaying as a Division I program, got a coach from the Big Ten fired. Eagles have won 3 in a row versus Patty Mahomes. Hell of a fight last night between Canelo and Crawford. And most importantly, the 24th year anniversary of Jay-Z's Blueprint. Let's go to work.
Let's do it, baby. Well, y'all know we've been working with our friends at Romantic About Baseball. Follow them on Facebook. RG and myself are so proud to be part of the Baseball Lovers Alliance. That is several fantastic Major League Baseball podcasts, unfiltered takes from people that truly love the game. Follow our friends at Romantic About Baseball. I have for a minute now, but RG, after 2 abysmal, terrible road trips, I thought the Mariners ship was sinking and they were going to completely fall apart. I was 1,000% wrong, bro, and they are back on fire. Talk to me about the highs and lows of the last couple weeks.
Well, I had to work last week, so I missed the show. But since we've been back in a normal work rotation, the Mariners have decided to pick this particular time to catch fire. And God knows it was needed. They can, with the 11-2 rout of the Angels today, we are on a 9-game winning streak. We are in sole possession of first place. Cal Raleigh has hit 54 home runs, tying the legendary Mickey Mantle for the most home runs hit in a season by a switch hitter. I believe now he's 2 off of the record that Griffey holds twice. And as much as I love Griffey, I need Cal to break it because we definitely need his offense over the next 2 weeks of 12 games, basically, down to 12 games. Need all hands on deck. Henry Ford got a walk-off hit the other night, sack fly to help the winning streak keep rolling. And just, man, happy that the Mariners are doing this, man. I was talking to one of our friends of the show, Jerry B6, and was telling him I love and absolutely hate this part of the year because every day is a different emotional effect. Not all good things last forever. We are going to have to mix some losses in because that's just how baseball is. It's just the personal fear of when, and how many of these losses are going to come. If we ended up going 12-0 to end the year, would be the easiest thing to happen. But we're Mariner fans, and that's never going to go our way. But the team is rolling right now, and that's exactly what we made these moves for. That's exactly what we wanted, was to be in this position where it's tomorrow will be September 15th, and the Astros are looking at our taillights. Gotta love it.
You made a really good point right there, though, because Texas and Houston are right on our asses, RG. We're not going to win out the rest of the way, but the Mariners must play top level baseball. They need to continue this hot streak. Texas Power, we are not going to crumble this year, man. This is a different team. This is a different attitude. This is a squad I believe in. Sunday evenings, right? JP Crawford, what, hitting 318 over the last 2 weeks, clutch home runs, doubles, laser beams all over. And RG, there's a player that you and I were extremely excited about 2 years ago. Jorge Polanco. He had a disappointing first year with the Mariners, admittedly. He comes back for about half the pay. And over the last 30 days, Polo has an OPS over 1,000. And for a guy that's had a really good career at the Dish, RG, he's having one of his finest seasons this year for the Mariners. It's his third highest OPS of the career. It's the second most home runs he's hit in his career. And when the season finishes, it'll probably be his second most for RBI. So I want to shout out Jorge Polanco. We've had a lot of stars, like Cal Brawley chasing down Mickey Mantle, chasing down Salvi Perez. But if you want to make a run at a championship, you need your secondary studs like a Polanco to have a big year, and we're getting that.
Had 3 doubles this week instead of Mariners record with doubles in seven consecutive games. When
Ooh.
I remember the night we acquired him, and I was still truck driving at the time. And now I was being safe. No, let's start there. I was being safe. I had my phone screen posted up on the dash, which I'm allowed to do legally. So it's not like I was just messing around with the phone. But I remember the night that we acquired him, I just about pulled over. I started blowing the air horn because it was exciting to know what his bat could do in our offense. And yes, last year was a little bit of a struggle for him, but he's paying dividends for us right now. It's a big shout out to Jorge Polanco. Hopefully he continues his streak going. Randy Arozarena's bat has been great for us as well too. Second half, Julio has shown up, loving having Naylor and Suarez back in the fold. Different times throughout the course of this year. Young has stepped up. Ford has stepped up. God, it's exciting time, man. Exciting time. But don't take it for granted. The road we're traveling on is paved with slippery ice. So we still need, as good as they've been, we still need a little bit more to get us to the finish line.
Yeah, no doubt. You got to put on those heavy duty trains that keep me on the road so well. And bro, I got a question then. So it appears to me that the Mariners have made a decision at second base that they're going to sacrifice some defense for the offense to get Jorge Polanco in there. It opens up DH for other options to improve the lineup. How do you feel about sacrificing a little D to try to bolster the lineup?
The traditionalist baseball fan in me doesn't love it, but knowing how anemic our offense has been traditionally, roll the dice and take it. Roll the dice and take it. Even when I see my Albuquerque homie, Mitch Garver, get up, it's a Malox moment for me because I know that guy, he has the skills. We just haven't had a consistent stretch with him like he put up the year that the Rangers won the World Series. But we need runs. We definitely need runs. The pitching staff isn't the gym, and I don't want to say it that way. I need to come up with a better way to say it. But it'll take a lot of pressure off the pitching staff if we can do what the Mariners have had trouble doing traditionally, and that's put runs up to actually support them. Runs are everything right now. We're not going to the days of 1-0 playoff games and all that good shit is over with. So we need run production. So like I said, the traditionalist baseball fan in me doesn't love it, but hey, knowing that how the Mariners operate, we need these runs.
Well, the pitching's coming back, man. The pitching's been the best I've seen all year, and we haven't seen this team get clicking on all cylinders, and it might be happening at the best time of the season because it's been bullpen, bats, no starting. And there's always been one part missing in the equation all season. RG, what am I talking about against the Anaheim Angels, though? Brian Wu with 13 Ks in 6 innings, George Kirby with 14 Ks and 6 1/3. And it was fun, man. I was at the game Saturday night with some family, man, and it's a different feeling when we're getting into the fall and the Mariners are rolling opposed to early in the season when you still don't really know what's going to happen. But man, oh, got to be real, bro, because we didn't do it at that time. You know, our boy Indy getting married. Congratulations. Congratulations getting married soon. But I really thought they were in trouble. I really thought the season might fall apart after the road trips that they had. What they went 18-2 versus Atlanta, and they haven't lost since. Were you as concerned as me? They were playing a really bad brand of baseball. I thought they were gonna fall apart.
Of course. Reminds me of that Tyrese and Chingy song. Every time I try to leave, something keeps pulling me back. And these guys it's how the last 4 years have gone. So you have to stay tuned to every night because we can inch closer, we can fall back. We can inch closer, we can fall back. We never completely fall off the hill. We do just enough to stay in, and then of course it's the last three that are heartbreakers. That's how this episode goes. So at least for the next 9 games, you got to pay attention to them because it's really going to be make and break. The Royals have been kind enough to fall back a little bit. So that series, as important as it is, it doesn't have the onus that we were putting on it 2 weeks ago. Because now there's 6 games that separate the Royals from the last spot in the wild card. But we play 3 against them. We can go there and lay an egg. Then that puts them 3 back, and then that puts us back into the last spot in the wild card. Then we definitely don't want to give Texas any life as well, too. Then the huge one comes up at Delkin Field now, or Enron Field, whatever multimillionaire is going to jail next for fraud, whoever that stadium was named after. That's really where the season lies for us, and how's it going to play out? Because I don't think we can bounce back emotionally from going to Houston and just completely bombing out again. So we definitely this is a huge week, hugest week of the season coming up. Colorado should be, if we handle business, we should get to the series with the Dodgers with the chance to clinch on Friday and play some good baseball to celebrate a great season. Hopefully Kyle can reach 60.
No doubt. I mean, it's not even just the emotional side either, dude. If the Mariners lay an egg on this upcoming road trip, then the season's probably over, man. I mean, there's no guarantee. We're in first place now, but I mean, when you have a 1 game lead, when you got 2 teams on your ass, dude, it is go time. I believe this team's ready. I found one nugget I want to share with you, dude. When it comes to one of my favorite pitches, the slider, Matt Brash has the most horizontal movement in all of baseball with his nasty slider. Hitters are only batting 207 with 34 Ks on it. And my man, Eduardo Bizarro, he was borderline terrible last year. He's completely flipped the script. He's become a high leverage stud with the 4th most movement on his slider in baseball, man. So I wanted to give a couple of shout outs to those dudes, but I just want to make a point also. I just was exclaiming how great of a slider Matt Brash has. This is the major leagues, and if you don't locate, it doesn't matter if you have the best pitch in the game, as we saw Taylor Ward do when Saturday night Matt Brash hangs one. The dude hits it to Edgar's Cantina. So, like I said, it doesn't matter how good your pitch is, you gotta frickin' locate.
The ball was thirsty, so it just wanted to go get a quick drink. Shout out to those of you rocking with us in the live chat today. Happy to see the crew that's been faithful to us since we've been doing this live episode, coming back in here and chopping it up with us. As a friendly reminder to those of you in the live chat, we are a sports podcast, and we do know that there's a lot going on outside of sports, but that's not what we're here for. We would never tell you what to and not to talk about, but just to keep it friendly like we always do, man. We're just going to keep pushing with sports this week. The one thing that I would say about the Angel series as well too, and it has nothing to do with the outcomes of it. It's getting to see a guy on the other side of the dugout by the name of Mike Trout. And if you are a fan of baseball, you know that that guy had the trajectory to potentially be the next Mickey Mantle, and injuries have taken a lot out of that steam, and we really don't know how much time a great player like that has left. He owns the Mariners. He just owns us, and watching him hit that last home run was, I can't believe he got us again, but seeing how we had to lose Kobe for us to become a fan of him, I definitely would like to give that man some flowers while he's still playing the game. And I think it's a very pretty swing that the man has. It's almost a right-handed version of Ken Griffey Jr. swing, and just hope that he can stick around. The game is more fun with a player like that in it than without him, and hopefully his health allows him to contribute. I'd rather be able to beat them when he has full healthy time than him trying to still recover and get back to what it is. But I love Mike Trout, man. I'm a baseball fan. I love the Mariners, but I'm a baseball fan, and that guy just, I hate that he just always seems to find a way to put the ball into the stands whenever he plays us. But it's good to see him out on the field, man. Yeah, man, baseball's starting to heat up. It's that special time of year. The two teams have already clinched a position. Today, the Giants lost, guaranteed with based upon their records that the Phillies and the Dodgers are going to be in the playoffs, and those are two of the hottest teams that have been on the National League side rolling all season. So you knew that was coming, but uh, seats at the dance are starting to fill up quickly with Major League Baseball. Mariners do have tomorrow off, and they'll actually have off the next 2 Mondays. So each of the next 2 series coming up will be 2-game sets: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, followed by a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Last road series of the year happens to be this week when we do go to Houston, and then we're home for 3 against the Dodgers, as well as 3 against the Rockies. Just pulling up the schedule here to take a quick look, see if they've announced potential starters for the series as we move forward. And yes, it looks like the OG, triple OG, Logan Gilbert, with a 4-6 record on the year, ERA at 3.42, but 159 strikeouts, will be on the mound against Walker. So hopefully we can get to him and have some good barbecue while we're out in Kansas City as well. Good, big time of the year. Baseball is starting to heat up as we push towards the playoffs. Fun week of college football. Some great games in college football this week, especially between Georgia and Tennessee was the highlight. Just a crazy back and forth. Kicker had a chance to put the nail in the coffin and couldn't quite get it done. Tyler, I got you back with us, man.
Yeah. We're back in the house. We're back in the
Cool,
house.
man. Cool.
Wifey, if y'all ain't noticed, you guys have been so nice to me. I am definitely wearing women's headphones, but I steal these from my wife to do this shit. And so it got connected to her phone. Y'all can tease me, y'all can give me all the shit you want, but we gotta do what we gotta do, man.
They
College
look good
football.
on you, though.
I
They
gotta
look good
call
on you, though.
myself out. Boy, was I wrong about North Carolina. They've bounced back with 2 ass whoopings against shitty teams. We're not gonna hear from them for a while because Florida State and Miami making a resurgence. I think that this thing we call college football is more fun when those 2 teams are good.
Of course they are. Of course they are. I know that Ohio State and Michigan have what is called the game. But for a very long time, the best college rivalry game was Florida State and Miami. Before the change of philosophies in the Big Ten, those 2 games were played in slow motion. while Florida State and Miami was watching number one picks after number one picks just go at it up and down. But it it was fun this week. It was really fun. We learned a lot about some teams. I think Notre Dame probably had the most heartbreaking loss of the week, but how I said I would get into it when we got here. My New Mexico Lobos went to the Rose Bowl and, as a 14-point underdog, put belts to asses against the UCLA Bruins. 35-10 victory that unfortunately got Deshaun Foster fired this morning uh, for losing two big games to two Mountain West teams. But hey, that's the nature of the beast in college football. There, you can't be the Big Ten with UCLA's budget and have two consecutive losses like that to two schools who just got left out since they're decimating our conference this year to rebuild the Pac-12.
Bad move for that one dude, man.
Tough pay, man. Tough pay. And it's kind of a little bit of get back because the Lobos did lose our best basketball player to UCLA on the $3 million NIL. So and UCLA paid us $1.5 million to put that game on the schedule, and we beat them by 25 points. I love it.
That was what I was thinking, man. How do you like that? You go in and take their millie and you embarrass them as a football team? Oof. That is how you get fired on your day off, bro.
Like Craig did Debo. Man, let's get into it to the chat here. Which teams that are not going to be in the playoffs do you see having the most potential to be good next year?
We thinking baseball here?
Yeah, he's talking baseball here. Tyson Baxter's talking baseball. Of the teams not going to make it, that's a potential. Who's been interesting to watch this year have been the Marlins and the Reds. They've been teetering on flipping the page with where they're at, and the Fighting Franconas in Cincinnati had made it pretty interesting up until about a week ago, I'd want to say.
I think Texas. If Texas doesn't make it this year, they're going to end up close, man. And the shocking thing, the Texas Rangers have the best team ERA in baseball, bro. Organization that we always consider to be a home run hitting, bashing type of lineup. They actually have the best pitching staff this year. Their their lineup is underachieved, frankly. They've really underachieved. And if they could get their guys hitting at their normal numbers, that's a team that could be on the come up next year. And hell, what are they? Only like what, 1.5, 2 games back of the Mariners as we stand right now? They could easily get back in the mix this year. So that's a team I'd look out for.
Yeah, we were talking about the Reds too, and shout out for Mariners Lifer. He also said that he thinks the Reds aren't out of it right now. They're still only 2.5 back, and the Mets seem to have completely forgotten how to play winning baseball. So the divisional races on the National League side might kind of be nails in the coffin. Milwaukee has a huge lead on the Cubs. The Phillies have a huge lead on the Mets. The Dodgers, the Dodgers don't know what they want to do with the Padres right now. But yeah, man, the rest still have a fighting chance, and even the Padres are still only 2.5 back of that division as well too. So there's still some things that keep the NL side of things completely interesting. Texas Power Ranger. If the Rangers miss the playoffs, I have to go for my morning run in my wife's leggings for a month to do a stupid bet. I'm going to need footage of that we could put on the My Oh My social media page. All that money for Nico to be god awful, man. I'm telling that dude screwed himself. That dude absolutely screwed himself. It's not like Tennessee didn't have a good year. What they were 10-2. It's not. They just unfortunately got seeded against a monster last year and had to go play a game in Columbus. But one man's mistake opened up the door, and Tennessee might still be in it.
Well, you referenced that game earlier. You saw that atmosphere, man. That atmosphere, man. When the players are running out to the tee, the band is blaring Rocky Top. That was fucking awesome. And before I head down, I went downtown to go to the ball game on Saturday night. You know, I was watching that shit before I hopped in the car to get down there, man. And even at UCLA's peak, it won't even ever be like 3% of what a stadium like Tennessee, Neyland, the passion, man. The passion is unmatched. You saw it, man. There, I bet you by the end of that game between the Bruins and the Lobos, there was probably more Lobos fans out there in LA.
And since it's UCLA that we're talking about, that's not really that hard to do because they're not the draw in LA. USC is the sexy team in LA, and it always has been and always will be. There
Oh
were
yeah.
put it like this: made a last ditch effort to see if we could catch a flight to go out there and be part of it. There were prime seats that were available for $45 for that game in the Rose Bowl, probably one of the sexiest places to ever watch a college football game at. But when the night turned into day and you turn it on and you got 105,000 people in Neyland Stadium, all and I love when they do that checkerboard atmosphere. I love when they do that. That is just so badass to
Oh
watch.
hell yeah.
Yeah, there were probably more people that'll come to the Lobos next home game in 2 weeks against our rival, New Mexico State, than we're at uh, the Rose Bowl to watch that game between UCLA and the Lobos. You know, all money isn't good money. And just because you were going out looking for the bag, you took yourself out of what would get you recognized. Because unless you go balls to the wall like Dorian Thompson did, UCLA quarterback's not going to get recognized. You aren't Troy Aikman. So I don't know what it is that you think you went out there to try to go do. But hey, man, Nico fumbled the bag. That's I guess that's the downside of being greedy when you're 19 and 20 years old in this NIL world. You can completely fuck yourself, and he sure did.
Brutal, brutal. And the person he's replacing, it makes me absolutely sick to my stomach to say, RG. For the first time this year, I saw a little bit of the Oregon Ducks, and that team looks really freaking legit. And Dante Moore, he is kind of a forgotten name amongst possible stars at QB in college football. RG, there's tons of guys I love right now in NCAA, but I have not been more impressed by a quarterback right now than Dante Moore. He's big, strong. He's got an accurate laser cannon for an arm. He can move well enough. I'm really worried that Oregon might have the quarterback that can elevate them to a championship. Because right now, all of the Huskies have over Oregon is 2 national titles, and the closest one was what, 35 years ago, about.
And he had what was an amazing game, and then the last pass that he threw got picked off. Is that the last pass he threw before they pulled him out of the game got picked? Because it was something they were flashing across the screen about him. But yeah, man, he's been out there balling, and it just seems that Oregon just has ways to just reload whenever they need someone at quarterback. And I'm sure Phil Knight's budget helps, but that's the world that we
Mm-hmm.
live in right now. Because no one says anything about Texas Tech spending $45 million to fund the team. $40 million, what was it? $40 won Ohio State the ship last year. So that's just the way that college athletics are supposed to go. But yeah, Florida seems to, Oregon always seems to have good luck just reloading and finding the next guy up to come do it. Even back to Justin Herbert out there running it.
Yep.
Yeah, man. But college football was fun this week. I should have done some looking up, but I didn't realize we were going to go this direction this quick. To see if there've been any updates on the player that had the unfortunate injury in the Notre Dame game that they had to cart off the field. You hate to see
Oh,
that.
jeez.
Hate to see that. Bang bang play off a deflection, and yeah, they had to. It's scary when they have to take off your face mask with screws to be able to put the
Oof.
brace around your neck. So prayers out to that guy and to his family. Hopefully, he makes a speedy recovery. But yeah, man, Notre Dame might be in some trouble. Marcus Freeman's going to definitely have to
Whew.
figure it out. No one was expecting them to go 0-2 after playing in the national championship. But hey, Texas A&M just came out and kept fighting and kept fighting and kept fighting, even when Notre Dame had them by 10, just would not going to find a way to lay down.
I got a question then. I'm not a big fan of this. I want your opinion. What do you think of preseason rankings then?
Spark sales of NCAA football. And really you gotta start somewhere. You really gotta start somewhere, and I just think it's tough to live up to some of those. What was it? We can even go back to the BCS era, 2004, where had Auburn not had started the year unranked, they could have made more of the discussion of who would go to the national title game that year when USC and Oklahoma were battling out for it. Auburn, I believe, went undefeated, and an SEC team went undefeated and did not make the BCS national title game because they started from so far below the barrel. The computers weren't going to work into their favor. Um, and then you look at a team like Florida State that started unranked this year and made a leap to 10, beating Alabama. In the NIL world, you just don't know who you got until 2-3 weeks down the road. Kind of the same with college basketball. You don't even know who you got in college basketball till you almost get to January, just because some guys do have to sit out the transfer period, become eligible, and all that good stuff. So the preseason rankings I believe, are still used to generate excitement. But even some of the big dogs didn't roll the way that you expected them to roll this week. Ohio State's game with Ohio was closer than some people thought it should have been, before they finally found a way to pull off. Arch Manning damn near got booed off the field before they finally had a 21-point cushion off of them. It's just always hard to tell. But I believe it's just more to generate excitement and to try to get some advertising dollars the first couple weeks of the season, where it's like, hey, we can offer this matchup, but I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
I mean, when you're able to advertise number 1 Texas versus number 3 Ohio State, that means a ton in the advertising game. So I think that's a brilliant point you just made. But man, talking about excitement, bro. We're talking about the gridiron. We got to get into a few games. It's the Battle of the Birds. Oh my. But RG, we had a rematch of the Super Bowl. One team looked a little clunky. One team looked like they want to make it a mission to try to make a run at this thing, man. Tell me about the Eagles winning their second straight ball game versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Compared to the games you got between New England and Miami and Dallas and the Giants, this was definitely not going to be that. New play caller for the Eagles, Spagnuolo, trying to prove a point. This was going to be a rock fight, and it sure did turn out to be a rock fight. Saquon Barkley scored first. Then Patty Mahomes gets a scramble to get into the end zone. Then, of course, the good old-fashioned tush push gets us across. Mahomes throws a bomb to a guy who had previously he missed twice with a chance to get it. Then the game turns on a drop pass by Tyler's wife's favorite chief, Mr. Swifty himself. And then it just turned into a really good defensive battle. But good prevailed over evil, and the Eagles have now won 3 straight against Patty Mahomes. The Chiefs are on the Chiefs are on Mahomes' first 3-game losing streak, and he is 0-2 for the first time, and that team is 0-2 for the first time since 2014. Defense played well. We have a Johnson. God, his first name is slipping me, but that guy he's going to need to grow up fast. Dak targeted him a lot during the opening game. The Chiefs kind of picked on him a little bit today. He's going to definitely have to step his game up in our secondary, especially against another good elite quarterback next week in Matt Stafford. That guy's going to have to grow up fast. Um, then it definitely appeared to me that Jordan Davis wasn't healthy. The second half of the game didn't have the impact that normally he does. Even there were times where Jalen Carter was out there just holding his wrist before plays and still getting down in his stance, and you can only imagine the pressure that his body was going under. But at the end of the day, Eagles still find a way to get it done and improve to 2-0. You know what I don't like about our season is, well, I haven't really gone through everyone's schedule yet, but what's important to me is the Eagles schedule. So of course I looked at it. How does the defending Super Bowl champions not have back-to-back home games all year? Every game we play is on the road, at home, on the road, at home, on the road, at home. No back-to-back home games for us all season. And with being the defending Super Bowl champions that win your division, you get all the playoff teams from last year and then your divisional matchups. And this year we're matched up with the NFC North and the AFC West.
Okay.
Yeah. So pretty, and again, when you finish number one in your division, they match you with other number ones. So I just don't understand how we didn't get that type of respect being the defending Super Bowl champions. But if there's a team that's built to do it and a quarterback to have it, it's my man, Jalen Hurts.
There we go. There we go. Well, there's a guy that I've been a gigantic fan of since he was wrecking shop and winning championships in college football. Nolan frickin' Smith, man. That guy has so much speed off the edge. He came into the league that people were wondering, is he going to be big enough? Is he going to be physical enough? This guy comes off the edge and blasts blockers like he's trying to run through a fucking brick wall. I just love his speed and explosiveness off the edge. And frankly, RG, if your Eagles want to get back to the Super Bowl, they need him to take it to another level because the second tier depth guys aren't quite as good as last year because of free agency departures.
Yeah, they definitely need him to fill the role that Milton Williams played when he got his bag. Now I do know he's in. They play two different positions, but he can still be that force. And what those Georgia guys need, just in my opinion, what those Georgia guy needs is the Kobe Dean back because he's the leader of that squad. He's the leader of that squad. So we definitely need him to come back healthy and to be able to get him back out there. It just completely changes the dynamic of it. While Dak was able to pick on our secondary because Jalen Carter wasn't in the game, they were both in the game today. And other than really the big, massive bomb that he had at the end of the game, and the Mahomes and him running, Mahomes did better running today than he did in the Super Bowl. But what is failed to realize about the Super Bowl matchup as it's scheduled is that it's never the same two teams. Coordinators are gone because they've taken different jobs. Guys are gone through free agency. We are rebuilding with a young secondary. And as bad as the player that Mahomes trucked on the way to the end zone looked when that happened, he also got the pick that pretty much sealed us to win today too. So
okay,
yeah, I gotta live and die with the growth and the experience. And Tyson Baxter's right. Heavy's the head that wears a crown, but I think the guys in Philly are built for it.
no doubt, no doubt. Okay, I got a question then because you just brought up the coordinators. So we know the year after Steichen and Gannon left for head coaching jobs, it was kind of a disaster at offensive coordinator the second half of the year. Jalen Hurts has minimal passing statistics. That doesn't bug me if you're making winning plays. What do you think of the offensive coordinating and play calling so far with the new guy?
He took some heat based upon how his play calling changed when they had the lightning delay in Dallas the lightning delay in Philly during the opening game against Dallas. And he was going against a good defensive mind today, even though we've gotten the better Spagnola a few times. That's not this guy's first go around. That wasn't this guy's first go around like it was today. So he was out there playing chess with someone who was really really good at his job. So Jalen didn't have the gaudy stats that everybody seems to love. Um, but the thing that's really interesting with me about Jalen is everyone considers Lamar and Josh and Burrow to be those guys in the tier under Mahomes. And Jalen has done something that only one of them has had the claim to do, and that's actually has gone to a Super Bowl. And not only gone to one, but gone to two. And has actually won one. But it seems that when people talk about Jalen Hurts because he doesn't throw for 350 yards and he doesn't throw for 4 touchdowns, he always has to do something that those guys haven't done to even get considered in the group. And that's a little disrespectful to him. Plus, that dude has had a different offensive coordinator for each of the last 7 fucking years, going back this time in college. There's been no consistency with the voice that's in his ear, but yet week after week, he just seems to find a way to get his job done. Let's put some respect on the name of Jalen Hurts. Yes, I understand that this is a offensive driven, get your money, get your buys, get your fantasy picks. Jalen wins games. Jalen wins games. Tua puts up crazy fucking numbers. Anybody in a rush to put Tua in that conversation? Nope. Didn't think so.
There we go. Well, speaking about winning quarterbacks today, actually, my man Sam Darnold threw a couple of really ugly picks I thought might cost the team early, but my favorite team, the Seattle Seahawks, RG, did Tyson Baxter a favor and took out the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road. That is a huge victory. What did I see? Okay, let's get it right out of the way. Sam Darnold threw a couple of ugly ass picks. He has to knock that shit off. I sound like I'm talking about Geno Smith from last year. Same type of shit, really. Big passing yardage stats, but those picks can be a killer. I did see some dimes. Jackson Smith and Jigba. He is turning into a legit number 1 receiver. I repeat, a legit number 1 receiver. Oh my gosh. Cooper Kupp. Game 1, I thought he might be washed up. Dude comes out with what? 7 catches, 90 yards. He still got a little juice in the tank. But the key is the defense. The offense put up 31 points. One was a really awkward fumble recovery on a kickoff. But the defense really held it down, man. The defense held it down, man. Big Cat Williams blowing shit up. Jaron Reed blowing shit up. Byron Murphy looks like a new man in year 2 right now. He is blowing bitches up. He is living in the backfield. TFLs, sacks. Our 2 young stars of the secondary, Eamon Worry and Devin Witherspoon, out. Secondary still has a pretty darn good game, man. So I really thought the Seahawks were in deep trouble, RG. I really did, man. Going to Pittsburgh, teams that start the season 0-2 make the playoffs 12% of the time, baby. So we had to go in and get it done. And I want our friends on the live chat and anybody listening, if you get in your fantasy football team, you get a rash of injuries and buys and you're in an emergency situation, think about Torrey Horton, Elijah Arroyo, or AJ Barner. They might be able to get you a few points in a dire situation, and they're all probably on your waiver wire.
I was talking to Indy off of screen before we started. What the fuck was that guy thinking? It's week 2, and that might be the most boneheaded play we see all year. Guess he didn't know the rules, just lost situational awareness. And like I told Indy, the football gods did him no favor because that ball checked up 3 yards before it had any chance to go out of bounds, and that ball was just sitting there begging for Seattle to come pick it up in the end zone.
Just sitting there.
When it's not your
A
day,
turning point
when it's
too.
not your day, it's not your day.
Because that was a 3-point lead. The Seahawks were kicking off after a field goal that gave them a 3-point lead. For those that might not have seen it, the kickoff returner lets the ball bounce and into the end zone. And with these new rules, this is where either nobody's paying attention, the details aren't being relayed in the special teams meetings, but your guys got to know to get back on that ball. Dude, you didn't see nobody talk to that guy the rest of the game, RG. We've been talking about it. I see it on the live chat. This is where draft pick status matters a ton. Because if this man was an undrafted free agent, RG, I bet you he is looking for a different occupation tomorrow. Second round pick, he's going to get another opportunity.
We were saying when they went back into the locker room after the game, it was no. You come over here. We need to talk real quick. And then they told him, we're going to let the team shower up and clear out, and then we'll let you go use the shower. But on your way to your car, everything that's in your locker, you might want to take it with you. and then we'll have someone contact you and help you update your resume. Just plays to lose a game. It made me think about a friend of mine named Marcus, who from the University of New Mexico had a really good college career and was drafted by Baltimore. And in the AFC Championship, Baltimore is down. They're receiving the punt. I don't just want to say it was Jacoby Jones, and God rest his soul. I honestly don't remember who received the punt for Baltimore, but he comes up the sideline and Marcus gets what we think is a great block. He springs him. Guy scores. The house is blowing up. We're like, yeah, our dude just helped Baltimore get to the dance. Then, of course, you look at the screen. There's a yellow indicator on there and holding on Marcus Smith. And that play happened to be the last play he played in the NFL.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's like that?
It is just like that. It's just like that. Now, Marcus was a 4th round pick, not a 2nd round pick. But yeah, man, just when you do something like that, that's just that boneheaded that puts your team in that, the optics just don't look good. The optics just don't look good. And hopefully he gets a chance, but it might be a while before we see that dude back on the field.
Well, especially because he's been underwhelming.
But if the guy in Chicago, yeah, because he hasn't been performing too, but if the guy in Chicago who was talking shit to the sidelines before Jalen Daniels threw that Hail Mary on him still has a job, maybe there's hope for him yet.
What is it Doc Rivers says? We'll deal with your problems until they outweigh your talents.
True words have never been spoken.
And I mean, that goes for shit way deeper than boneheaded mistakes. We know that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Maybe Kawhi Leonard might have to find that out the hard way too.
Oh shit, dude! Let's get into that, man. Is Steve Ballmer slipping a 25 to 30 million calmly under the table to a superstar basketball player? I didn't know we were going to go this route, but this shit's crazy.
That dude better play as dumb as Ronald Reagan did during the Iran-Contra affair, because if they find out that you knew what you were doing, your ass is toast, buddy. Your ass is toast. Deny. I don't know where that bloody glove came from. It wasn't me, Rhonda. He better lie his ass off, because that is some serious shit. That is some serious shit. Trying to find ways around the salary cap and all that good, just nasty work. Just nasty work. But it also amazes me too on how a man so smart with money could also be so fucking stupid.
You know what I'm going to say. I love to say you only need to be right once. And here's what Steve Ballmer can say. This is what Steve Ballmer can bring to the table.
True.
He was convinced that the smartphone would never be a thing. That's why Microsoft never got in the business. Look at what the smartphone's done for Apple. That's the biggest fumble in Microsoft history, and he's gonna never forgive himself for that. But he truly believed that the smartphone would not take off how it did, and the rest is history.
I believe the quote was, "I don't believe that any consumer would ever spend $400 for a phone." And if you could find an iPhone for under $400, tell
Yep.
me where.
It's exactly that's exactly what it is. Exactly.
Nuts, man. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Well, let's move forward to the other exciting part of the weekend. If you are a fan of the sweet science, and I get it, it's one of the hardest sports that I grew up loving. But to tell someone who didn't grow up in my age generation that it's something that you should pay attention to, boxing is a very acquired taste for it. But you did get a rare offering of the best versus the best this weekend in Las Vegas in Allegiant Stadium. Saul Canelo Alvarez, the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, putting everything up on the line against Terrence Bud Crawford, the two-time undisputed champion in two different weight classes. This was contested to 168. The knock on everything was, could Bud handle his power? Could Bud handle his power? And the big thing you would hear is people talk about with his weight classes for a reason. What the average fan may not realize is that Bud Crawford in his normal day walks around at 180 pounds and was draining himself to get down to 140, 147, 154. So him fighting at that weight was more natural for him than more people realized. And man, did they put on a show. The hand speed was there. Canelo's a tough guy.
Mm.
So it would be, he finished those other fights by knockout. You ain't knocking out Canelo Alvarez. That dude has one of the best chins that any fighter has ever had in the history of boxing. But they went out there and they did it. They went out there, put on the show for it. Bud ends up getting the best of him, and Bud pretty much beat his ass all night. If you look at the final score, the judges were finding rounds to give to Canelo. You can't tell me that Canelo won 5 rounds of that fight. Bud 9-3 all night long, and a new undefeated super middleweight champion in Terrence Bud Crawford. And it was boxing's best. It was boxing's best showing. Put the best with the best, and that was one thing that normally had not happened. Boxing is more political than Washington ever could be, and especially when they went to 4 different divisions and TV contracts and promoters, you couldn't get guys to come play on the other side of the fence from each other. So a lot of people did get a chance to see that Bud Crawford has really been the best fighter in boxing for the last 10 years, but they know it now. They absolutely know it now.
Okay. So, from my understanding, okay, so one of the huge problems with boxing, when I was a huge boxing fan as a kid and a teenager, actually, and then it just kind of left, guys didn't fight each other. Guys were always ducking each other. What's happened recently, man? I know there's like, what has happened where we can get these guys fighting again?
Unfortunately, it's the theme that rubs people the wrong way. It's overseas money because
Oh,
Turkey Al-Sheikh does not care about any of the. He has enough of a bankroll to make you want to come do business with each other.
okay.
And it's unfortunate. And like I said, I don't want to get into the weeds with that. But he has shown up and has found a way to let's put the best with the best, and it seems to have happened. You look at Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, who have now fought 3 times to unify the heavyweight championship. That wouldn't happen if it was still Top Rank versus PBC or whoever was signed to whoever. Just because it was more my name and my brand is more important than the fights I put on.
Okay.
But then, you even look at a guy like Bernard Hopkins, who obviously was the best middleweight in the world for years and didn't get a chance to until that door finally got open and it was like, wow, he's really that good. But you would have known he was that good 10 years ago had he not been stonewalled just by the political bullshit that goes on in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, but it was fun. It was definitely fun to get to see the guy who sparred with Crawford to get him ready for Canelo. Fought the guy who's considered next in deck in the super middleweight division, and man, they put on a hell of a fight. It was the second best fight of the night. And if what you want is two guys to just stand in front of each other and we're gonna bang until one of us goes to sleep, that's exactly what they did. And had answers for everything that the other one was doing. Just fought in a phone booth all night, just 168 pounders just getting it, man. It was a great fight. The co-main event left a lot to be left a lot of meat on the bone with their platform and their opportunity to fight in front of the largest media audience that's ever watched a boxing event. But overall, man, it was a great night. It was a great night for those of us who traditionally have grown up watching boxing, and hopefully they can keep this going with giving fans the fights that they want to see without the petty bullshit behind it.
Okay. Okay. Well, money always talks, man. Money always talks.
Sure does.
Is this still pay-per-view?
No, that's and pay-per-view. It kind of killed the boxing model. And now that HBO and Showtime and all those guys are at the boxing game, it's on Netflix. So if you got the basic Netflix subscription, you got to watch. You got to watch a fight that probably would have cost you $99.99 had you'd have been right on. Yes, sir.
No shit. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, dude. If I wasn't downtown all night, I would have been glued in, but I was doing my thing down, amongst the stadium and walking all around the place afterward. Just, sometimes, man, it's when I live so far north of the city, I'm down there. I gotta feel the vibe of the people, man. I gotta feel the vibe of the people, and I don't like to let fear rule us, man. These lives are short, man, and when people are saying that something's too bad to go, it's not that bad. It's what are we talking? This is Seattle, dog.
Yes,
It's
sir.
Seattle, man. So, regardless, that's awesome. That's awesome. I just got another question then. I heard UFC's moving to Paramount Plus. Is that going to be good for fight fans also?
It really just all depends on how far you are willing to go to follow what your favorite sporting event is. Big shout out to the live chat rocking with us tonight. Yeah, man, there's a reason why why you guys come and follow me and Ty Talks. And we don't play any of that. I don't care if you type in all caps. Indy's not going to waste his time banning you in the chat for using all chat. You say some off the wall stuff. Hey, we'll just tell you to calm down and keep it sports. But typing in all caps, hey man, you do as you wish. It ain't gonna hurt our feelings. And yeah, man. Of course, they say that the vibe is better over here. Some of the Seahawks fans went to another Seahawks fan page and got some shit talked to him by that guy. We ain't doing that to you. You come here, you say what you please. There have been times it's been to an extreme, but hey, man, we're just sports fans, just all trying to have fun, and this is better. This is better together than it is with us further apart. And you guys are the reason why we're still here each and every Sunday and helping with those download numbers. So thank you guys for that. Now back to the question about UFC moving. The cord cutting revolution was one that I found weird just because what I consume on TV, you have to pay for it. And what I consume on TV is extremely limited. It's all sports related. So even when I would look to see, so where I live is Xfinity, used to be Comcast. Some of you have Spectrum, some of you have Cox, depending on where you're at. But my local cable company was, well, it started as Jones Intercable, then it went to Comcast and Xfinity, and I think it's back to Comcast now, whoever has the naming rights, whatever. So for me, what I consume on TV, I understand that I have to pay for. I need my ESPN channels. I need whoever's going to carry the college football games during the week. I need who's going to carry college basketball during the week. I need who's going to carry NBA. Back when I was a wrestling fan, I needed to have TNT and USA because I needed to be able to watch Monday Nitro and Monday Night Raw, just like any cold-blooded 17-year-old back in 1997. Then the cord cutting revolution became, and I get why it started because of the way that the economy was in 2008, 2009. That helped Netflix grow to its popularity because Redbox was the way to go. And then since you no longer had to leave your house to go get DVDs, you could pull it up on Netflix. That's the route that you were going to take. But keep in mind, this world is controlled. You know, they all want to say that capitalism is a bad thing. And they all want to tell you that capitalism is a bad thing while they tweet it from their iPhones while drinking their $7 Starbucks coffee. You are never going to get away from it because it consumes the rest of your life and you don't even know it. So we started the cord cutting revolution because the DirecTV package to have everything that you wanted was $135. You felt that that was too expensive. You should get it for cheaper, and I'm just going to get away from it. So then Netflix comes in and they offer the little $5.99, and then everybody else started going one off and letting you be able to order things a la carte and just paying little by little for it. I use YouTube TV as an example. When I first got YouTube TV, it was $49.99. YouTube TV is now $90, and the Sunday ticket is an additional $400 on top of that. I have the baseball package, which is $144 a year for it. To be able to watch the Thursday night game, you got to have an Amazon subscription. To be able to watch some of the holiday games, you're going to have a YouTube subscription for it. Wrestling then went away from pay-per-view, started the WWE Network, which was $9.99, and then eventually moved to Peacock. If you want to watch it without the ads, that's another $20 for it. Now you're going to have UFC on Paramount, which you're going to have to pay for. Wrestling is now going to ESPN, and ESPN is now taking their full platform that they offer on these cable networks, and you could just buy it directly for them for $29.99. If you like Power, because 50 Cent can write a hell of a TV show, you have to have Stars. Stars is $9.99 on its own. So you go ahead and add that up, and probably to consume the things that you want to watch on TV, you are now roughly paying almost $250 to $300 a month just to sit at home and watch TV and not leave your house. Doesn't that DirecTV package for $139 that had everything in HD sound a lot fucking better to you now than it did back then?
So you're telling me to keep my ass at work and not on the couch, man?
It's cheaper to be out than be at home right now, and that's fucking nuts. But when the cord cutting revolution began, you didn't think that there was a way they would get you. They got you again, dog. And they spread it out so much that to have access to everything you want, they're back in your pocket for half of your mortgage payment.
All those companies just had to wait till their contracts with Netflix ran out, then it was game on for them. Because if we think back, Netflix used to have thousands of more shows and movies that people would want to watch. But as those contracts ran out, all those companies took their shows and movies back, made their own apps, and here we are. Oh my gosh, RG, that was fucking crazy. I didn't know you were going to get at me like that, but it's budgeting with RG and Todd, man, because 99.9% of the world's got to do it, or we're going to find ourselves out on the streets. So that's crazy, man. It is exactly what happened, though. And it's gone to the point that, I'm going to say maybe 6 to 12 months ago, me and Katie had to just sit down and be like, okay, we actually use this, this, and this. We don't use this, this, and this. Those are going to go.
They've done it with everything. I'm not as big as it used to be, but I still pay attention to wrestling. For the first time in 31 years, they are having Monday Night Raw here in the Albuquerque area. They've had 2 SmackDowns that happened back in like 2005 and 2007. First time in 31 years since it's been on TV, Monday Night Raw is coming to the Albuquerque area. $1,500 floor seats.
Whew.
I paid $900 to sit fourth row at a WrestleMania once upon a time, but that was fucking WrestleMania, a Monday Night Raw,
Damn.
$1,500 floor seats.
I bet I went to Raw for like 15 or 20 bucks.
The Vince McMahon model was he would always offer a $25 seat.
Mm.
If you just wanted to get in, Vince McMahon always wanted to offer a family a way to be able to go take their kid to one of these events for $25. $25 can't even get you a beer and a hot dog at an event now. But my house changed.
Find those guys. We are speaking of those expensive concessions. This is a shout out. If the tamale couple down by the Seattle stadiums is out there, Ty is looking for you. We found them last winter. I haven't seen this since. If the tamale couple is out there, I am looking for you. Me and my friends love you.
That's right, baby. Support the local company who does not have a permit to be outside the stadium selling food. They probably got the best.
It was the best, bro.
That's right, man. That's right. Even as we grow this platform, there's a lot of podcasts that you follow that are behind the paywall on Patreon. I don't know if I could ever take this organic thing that we have here with, and yes, we've gotten 70 followers in the year that we've been doing this on our own since we broke away from the previous show that me and Ty were on. But I wouldn't trade the 70 of you and the 20 of you that show up in the live chat for anything that then tell you, hey, to hear us talk, you need to pay for it. This will always be available to you. Download the numbers. Where we will do ours is in advertising, and we will never shove those things down your throat. That's not a cost that you'll have to bear. We're looking for ways to be able to grow and expand and not put the cost of that on the consumer. Now, is that probably the smartest model to be able to go after this capitalistic world? Yeah, you could prove me wrong. No pun intended. And we'll just take this organic thing that we got and just hope that you guys continue to help us grow and tune in each and every Sunday to fuck with us.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. It feels good, dude. It feels good. You know that I, with the most love and admiration, may he rest in peace, I called my dad the legal Rainier Beach hustler. And that's because no matter what you do, if you start it from the ground up, man, you're going to have a certain love and appreciation, especially when I'm a guy that works for $1 billion conglomerate. It feels really good to be in on the grassroots with people that you like and care about. And that's what we are. Me and RG, we enjoy talking to each other. Furthermore, man, I just want to say thanks to the live chat, man. You said it, dude. It's this fire that they bring, this energy, and it completely transformed the show for the better. So thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So again, happy to have you all with us. Happy that you all tuned in to rock with us. Mariners got 12 games. 12 games. And we got one hook in the rock and the other one we're trying to find a spot for. Please don't let the weight of this backpack get too heavy and not be able to keep both hooks in the rock while we're trying to climb into the playoffs. Again, football is starting to get hot. Basketball will start in the month. Plenty of good sports to talk about as we move forward, and we wouldn't rather do it with anybody other than you all. We thank you for joining us. Ty, anything else you got to add?
Oh, I want to give one more quick shout out. If you listen to us via podcast, you hear a filthy opening beat by a man they call Safe Travels, who will be my future brother-in-law. So if you like our opening beat at all, check out Safe Travels on Spotify. He's my brother-in-law, but I love him and care about him like he's my blood. Thank you. Safe Travels. Check him out.
Tell him to hit my Venmo and I'll shout him out. Oh man. As always, this has been My Own Mice, another sports podcast coming to you live on YouTube each and every Sunday night. We try to get on about 5:30 Pacific time, and we thank you for joining us. Big shout out to those of you in the live chat. This show isn't anything without you. And to those of you who listen to us on the podcast downloads, hey man, you guys have helped me and Ty go from this just being an idea to having a reason to see each other's ugly faces each and every Sunday afternoon. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms at MyOhMyASP. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on Snapchat. Big shout out to our social media director, Miss Katie Matsumoto, who keeps that social media presence running for us. Big shout out and thank you to everything that you do. This show is brought to you by the good folks of Vaden Podcast Services, our super producer, Indy, and Mother Control back in Nashville, Tennessee. Be sure to be on the lookout for them and the other shows that they offer. They have a good library of some things that are interesting that you might even know you were interested in. Ooh. This show is brought to you again by the good folks of Vaden Podcast Services. Shout out to Indy's music channel as well, too. Death to Indy. Go out and check out some of his tracks and support him on his journey as well, too. Multifaceted, not just a producer, doesn't mind getting in front of the mic and doing his thing and showing off his musical talent. We're thankful for each and every one of you that join us each and every Sunday for My Oh My, It's Another Sports Podcast. The dude on my left, can't do nothing without him, man. That's Ty Talks 24. Big shout out to the guy at the Wheels of Steel making us sound like a music bucks. The indie coming from Nashville, Tennessee. For those of you in the Lake Stevens area, when you see Ty coming around the neighborhood, let him in the gate, no problem. Cinco Cero Cinco's own. I'm the man RG representing and holding it down for New Mexico. Go Lobos. And we'll see you each and every Sunday night for another episode. My own mind, another sports podcast.